Thank you to Yuri, our Toastmaster, for the evening. Good evening, my fellow Integris members and my distinguished guests. I hope you all are having a great evening so far. Languishing due to a lack of leadership. For those of you who watched me do my icebreaker, you guys would know that I'm an only child of an immigrant parent. I had no form of father figure throughout my life, in real life. And because of this, it led me to finding leaders or people who would offer guidance or people who would offer some form of direction in your life through games and through books. As an only child, I spent a lot of time on my own, and by reading these books and playing these games, I learned a lot about leadership on an individual basis, how one can navigate through life without really needing a team. I never really had a leadership position at school. I was never a prefect. I was never the class rep. I was never number one. I was never a captain of a team because all the sports I did were individual based: swimming, tennis, badminton, and music. It's all individual things. I never really worked in a team, so I was always my own leader. A couple names I could give of people that I see as leaders are Julius Caesar, Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus Christ, and more recently, my favorite one is Sir David Attenborough. Yes. So I took the test. I didn't know what to expect from the test. It's quite a mundane test. Just click. I think it was like from 1 to 5, rating, do you agree with the statement or do you disagree with the statement? I went through the test with the idea that I would already know what type of leadership style the test would pick up. As I said, I'm an individual based. That was mainly during my preliminary years. But when I went to high school, I had structure because I was in boarding school. I had mentors in the form of the matric students as well as the boarding masters that were in charge. They were young lads like myself, I am now, and they just got free accommodation, and then they got to mentor students at the same time. Then I went to university, and this was the part of my life where I felt like I was languishing. I felt untethered. I didn't know where I was going. I knew I had a degree, and I knew that the end point of that degree was graduating. But I didn't really understand where I was going. Luckily, I got a mentor in the form of my current supervisor at the University of Pretoria, and she helped guide me. She identified certain parts of my personality that would be suited towards where I work now, which is in the research and development phase. So back to the test. What primary leadership styles were assigned to me by this test? Well, I chose the first three because the first three, I feel, complete the entire picture of the type of leader I am. The first one was democratic. This means that I put people first, that I enjoy making one-on-one relationships with people. I understand this because in order to have friends and to cope, even though I was an individual, I still needed team members in order to broaden my playing field and also make significant progress across the playing field. I don't know if you've watched Goal, where the guy's so good at football, he tries to run the whole football field with the ball. But then the coach keeps kicking the ball past him and says, but if you pass the ball to a teammate, you'll be able to cover more ground and accomplish a lot more than you would on an individual basis. So I kind of understand that in order for me to have made progress, I couldn't just work on an individual basis. I needed to make friends. One of my favorite things about the democratic leadership style that is an ongoing process in my life at the moment is the upskilling of people and myself. Being a postgraduate in a research and development field, we host workshops where we each teach each other something new that we've learned. Because our field is so broad, but it is extremely specific what you study, we all teach each other and we all upskill each other, which I think is a great way of making progress on the playing field once again. The second one was innovative. This is the one I identify the most with. I'm extremely curious. I mentioned Sir David Attenborough earlier. Someone asked him a while back, but why are you so fascinated and curious about all the creatures in the world? To which David Attenborough calmly replied, why are you not? And it is this innate curiosity that keeps me going. I have strategic relationships, as I said earlier with my democratic. In order to make progress, I need to be strategic with the relationships that I make. And the last one is coaching. As Tsepi says, whenever I give a speech, he always learns something because I enjoy passing on information to others that they may not know and talking about completely random topics like milk. So just to round it off, I feel like all three of these styles, the coaching, the innovative, and the democratic, requires a motivating and positive personality, which I have come to realize. And at the same time, I really enjoy unlocking most people's potential and allowing them to realize that they can make progress if we work together. Thank you.